Hello guys and welcome to another Profile Tree video. So in today's video we're going to be taking a look at how to choose the right web hosting for your website. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. So we'll be talking through a couple of the different key aspects or just an overall comprehensive guide to help you make an informed choice. There are a few as well as the one that you see on screen. So currently what I have is identify your needs, hosting types, performance and speed, reliability and uptime, security features. But of course I do want to talk as well about the different key aspects in order to choose the right web hosting for your site. But anyway, getting started, we're going to go and talk about identifying your needs. So as previously stated, we're going to be going through identifying your needs. So before you actually select a web host, you should determine your website's requirements. Consider factors like the type of website, so that'll be the blog, e-commerce, portfolio. And just to give a clear example of that, here we have a mixture of that sort of website. So we as Profile Tree offer web design and digital marketing, and of course plenty of other services available. So this is more or less like a big type of brochure website just to showcase all the work that we do. And on top of that, we also show the different blogs. So you can also say that it is a blog type website. And if we have a look at another site, so this one is to do with food and drink. So again, more or less the same as Profile Tree. And we showcase different content, talks about different recipes, and of course, in similar to the other ones there, like Conley Cove and Amazing Cars and Drives, and of course, Learning Mole is a different ballgame. This is, of course, all the educational resources that you need for when you're learning. This has premium resources. So what does that mean? It means you will have to pay for it. Now you can view premium plans, and this is more or less than an e-commerce type website. So with all the different websites that we've viewed, of course with the expected traffic volume and the different content management systems available, you may want to consider those content management systems like WordPress, you've got Joomla, you've also got Drupal, and if you're maybe looking to go into technical features, you'll need email hosting, you've got databases you need to look at, and SSL certificates as well. So you can see straight away that these websites, of course, have different needs. So it's up to you as a website owner or someone who's about to have a website to identify your needs. And as well as that, if you do have a development team, maybe try to consider the different types of programming languages to use. Now we'll go ahead and bring one up. So this is Visual Studio Code, and it's also abbreviated as VS Code. This is a free and open source code editor which has been developed by Microsoft themselves. It's widely used by developers, web developers, full stack developers, you name it. They pretty much use this platform for every task that they need. And what are those tasks? That's with writing and editing code across various programming languages. And that's another good thing about it as well. So from what you can see on screen, so I'll just click accept here. We've got the actual extensions. That's the marketplace. There's Python, you've got C++, you've got Java and C#. So just a range of different programming languages built in one area. So it has been built to be a lightweight code editor, and that means it's lightweight and fast. It provides a streamlined environment for coding without the complexity of a full IDE. Now, if you have worked with Visual Studio Code, you may also know about the other one as well, which is Microsoft Visual Studio. So this is a bit more distinct from that more comprehensive developer. And as I said, what Visual Studio Code is all about is a full-fledged integrated development environment, which is an IDE. Another good thing as to maybe why you want to consider to code on this is that it has cross-platform compatibility. So VS Code is available for Windows, Mac OS, and Linux, and it allows developers to use the same code editor across different operating systems. You also have other key features like syntax highlighting and auto-completion, so that's something that you as a developer may want to have. Now, it's open for a wide range of programming languages, and that'll make the code easier to read. And of course, as well as that, it provides an intelligent auto-completion, which means that it gives out suggestions in terms of code. So that'll speed up the process of coding. Now, you may have to add some extensions onto it with other development tools, but with this one, you don't have to do that since it has syntax highlighting and auto-completion. On top of this as well, you do have extensions and plugins. So one of the standout features of VS Code is its extensibility. So developers can install extensions and add plugins to add functionality, such as support for specific languages. So if you're creating a website that's meant to be international, then you may want to have an extension or plugin for it. You can even add debugging tools to help you out as a developer as well. You've also got a version control integration on there and plenty more. And as well as that, you do also get an integrated terminal, as you can see from the screen. So just below the actual coding, you do have your terminal under, so that'll let you know what your issues are. You could also eliminate the need to switch from different applications to see the terminal. So that's another good thing about that. You've also got different debugging tools that's available for this and plenty of customization. So not really relevant to what we're discussing in terms of choosing the right web hosting for the website. But this developer tool can go as far as having an integrated Git. So that Git integration enables developers to manage version control tasks directly from the editor, and that makes it completely easy to track changes and collaborate with on code with other developers. But yes, it's just very important to know what you're going to be coding your platform on, so that's why I would like to make a suggestion to use Visual Studio Code. So the next discussion is hosting types. Now, what does that particularly mean? That means that there's different types of hosting. So that'll be including shared, so VPS, that's virtual private server. You've got dedicated and cloud hosting as well. So choose the type that aligns with your website's size and requirements. So if we take a look at an example of a website, and this is our own one, which is Profile Tree. So would we be using a VPS, dedicated, or cloud hosting? So this is potentially cloud hosting. So it all just depends, as I say, on the website's size and requirements. This one in particular is a small website, since it's not really holding any e-commerce based areas or products. So we don't sell anything on Profile Tree, so it's not like, it's more of like a brochure type site, as I've mentioned earlier. So of course we offer different services, but we don't actually take payment of some sort. There's no payment gateways on this one. So I wouldn't classify this as a medium or large. Now, to determine the types of websites for their hosting, there's actually a website called Hosting Checker, so you may want to check that out. Especially if you're gauging towards a website that's fairly similar to the layout that you have or the layout that you will potentially have. Go ahead and go onto their website. Go ahead and copy the URL, but you'll not see it on my screen, but it's just above the search. So it should say https:// whatever the website name is. Go back to the Hosting Checker. Go ahead and enter the URL address. So that's what it's going to tell you. And now it'll tell us who's hosting this particular website. So it's being hosted by Cloudflare. There's the IP address as well. So that's the people who's hosting it, Cloudflare. So they're fairly popular as well. And there's the IS name, Cloudflare.net. And as I said, there's the IP address as well. And if we take a look at the other websites that we have as well, so if you wanted to check out the different types of hosting for each one. So we'll do this one, we'll find the host for that one. And it is again the same one. So all our websites are based off Cloudflare. I just double checked the Learning Mole. This is more or less like an e-commerce based website, since this one has premium content or premium resources, and then that's £1.99. Of course, from the there's a sale on at the minute, so it's like for the first 6 months. Then after that, it's £5.99, and of course, there's different types of plans. So this might have a different one, just depending. Let's see. Copy and paste that. Find the host. Okay, so it's still Cloudflare. So, but usually, just with the e-commerce, it will be a bigger file. But let's have a look. So it's GoDaddy. That's the actual IP address as well, or the domain name. Sorry. But that's not really important in terms of hosting. But if you're maybe looking to do a cheaper way of hosting a site, you maybe want to consider doing shared hosting. That's a cost-effective way of doing it. However, that particular resource will have limitations. In terms of limitations, you're held back on the performance since you're sharing hosting with other websites. You're not getting the peak performance that you need. It's especially terrible if you're going to run an e-commerce site, so I would highly not recommend to use shared hosting, especially if you're running an e-commerce based site. If you want to maybe have a better performing website, then you'll think about maybe using a dedicated hosting provider. Now, we've actually talked about the different types of hosting in another video if you guys want to check that out, just to get a little bit more information on it. But the only thing that I would say about the dedicated hosting is, yes, it will provide full control, but do remember that for better performance, you will be digging deeper in your pocket as it comes at a higher cost. So that's one thing to mention in terms of hosting types. But regardless, have a think about it. See whether your particular website is needing that type of service, if it's going to need the best hosting. So with us, if we did have shared hosting within our websites, it wouldn't affect performance too badly, since these are all smaller in size. But I would assume that it is a dedicated or even cloud hosting as well. And of course, you've seen the type of hosting that we use, which is Cloudflare. If I go ahead and just actually show you an e-commerce site, just so you guys get an understanding, we'll just do Nike or Nick. Okay, we'll just copy and paste that. Okay, so it actually thinks I'm a bot. So I'll go ahead and recheck this. So here we go. So it's Akamai Technologies, and there's their IP address as well. There's DNS. So that's, again, there's multiple different companies that will provide hosting. Just be aware as well of the different pricing plans. So if we go ahead and check out Cloudflare, just so you guys have an understanding on the different pricing that's available on it. But regardless, there is monthly payments and annual payments to consider in terms of hosting. So we can actually see it from here. They do have a free plan, so that's ideal for personal, non-business critical projects. They have a pro plan, which starts at $20 per month, ideal for professional websites with no business critical requirements. So they've also got a business plan, which starts at $200 per month, ideal for smaller businesses operating online. Enterprise, you'd have to do custom pricing for that, so that all depends. But that's currently what the pricing plans are. It should have been updated or will be updated by the time you probably see this video. You may get a discount, you may get a price increase, so don't expect the same prices that you see right now. And again, this will apply for the different types of hosting that are out there. They'll have varied prices, so do your research and make sure you try to get the best deal for the best performance. Moving on to our next one, which is performance and speed. So more or less, what you'll be looking at for this particular area is the website speed, and that is completely crucial for a good or best user experience. And as well as that, SEO, you're looking at SEO. So again, this leads back to looking for hosting providers. You want to make sure that they've got or offer a solid state drive, SSD, content delivery networks as well, CDN, and optimized server configurations to ensure fast loading times. If I show you an example again with our website, so if I go ahead and I'll search up Google here, and then I'm going to go ahead and search up profile tree, and then I'm going to click on profile tree here. You see how fast that loading time is? It's fairly fast for what it is. If we go to the inspect tool and check out the lighthouse, and we'll analyze that page load as well, we'll get a better understanding on the report that it's going to come up with. This is basically just to gauge the performance of the site. There are other ways of showing or taking a look at the performance pages. There's Page Insights. Now, it's free to use. It's by Google. You can go ahead and check it out. Just copy and paste the URL, check out the performance of the site. It'll basically gauge how it will perform in terms of mobile version and the desktop version. So currently we're going for 61 for performance. Now that's just based off my device as well. So issues of why the performance is low is because I've got Chrome extensions, which can't affect the page's load performance. There's no ads requested when fetching this page, so you can see that as well. There may be stored data affecting loading performance in this location, so it's actually showing where it is, index database. So we can audit that in a incognito window. If we do that in an incognito window, I would assume that we might be hitting the 89 or 90. It just depends. But again, that's the performance currently. That's what we're setting at, which is 61. So that's okay. It's not too bad. We've got the first contentful paint there, largest contentful paint. We've got total blocking time as well, cumulative layout shift. We can also view the tree map on how it loaded everything up. So that's the different types of areas where it's loaded up the website. So our Chrome extension is of course affecting this greatly, hence why the performance is a little bit slow. But if we did remove some of the Chrome extensions, then we wouldn't have this issue, especially if the site has ads. Then I've got ad blocker installed, so that could be one of the issues as well to why the performance is like that. There as well is a performance insight. If you want to take a look at that, you can measure the page load as well. So it's just going to do a buffer. Doesn't take that long, just takes less than a minute. So you can see what loads first, HTML, then we got our CSS kicking in after that. Makes sense. Of course, you want to have the HTML load up first. That's all where your content is based, as well as a cleanup with CSS. Then you've got your images, mainly loading last, since that is or will be bigger files. You've got media as well. Now, another thing to note with this one is it is fairly fast, especially if I even reload this website. You can see that the text loads in first, but that video below actually loads in fairly fast. So we'll go ahead and refresh again. You can see that clicks in straight away. You've got your content coming in for the typography, and then you've got this logo coming in next along with the video, since the image will have a bigger file than typography. But hopefully that gives you a clear understanding on what performance and speed is, and that'll now lead us on to reliability and uptime. So uptime is the percentage of time your website is accessible to visitors. So choose a host with a strong track record of high uptime. You're ideally looking for around 99.9% or above. Now, do remember that downtime can negatively impact your business reputation and, of course, you as a website. So that can perform pretty horribly if your downtime is present. So that's something to note. So quickly moving on, you've got your security features. So security is paramount. Look for hosts that offer features like regular security updates. Make sure you got firewalls, malware scanning, DDoS protection, and secure socket layer certificates to encrypt the data. Again, a hosting one like Cloudflare. Cloudflare will offer that particular service, so we can go ahead and check it out. They do offer SSL as well as the hosting for your site, so maybe that's someone you may want to consider. Just get this better up on screen. So they're better for it. You can request a demo and ask for security. So here is their security. Firewall, DDoS protection, rate limiting, bot management, VPN, and more. They've got performance, so intelligent routing, mobile and image optimization, video, cache, and of course their reliability, which is load balancing, DNS, virtual backbone. So that's, you can have a look at it for a little bit more information if you need to. So they're all there. Again, there's the pricing plans as well, so there's different pricing plans there. So if you want to take a look at the network and network security, so here's the network services that they have. Of course, we'll have to ask for or request for a demo. So network services, so that's what they have there. So just gives you an insight of DDoS mitigation as well. But all the information based on what you need will always be on the actual website hosting. So make sure you just read through it, check out the different security features. SSL is key to have on your actual site. You'll see a little padlock beside the top left on the site that you've visited. Now, if there's one that's non-existent or it's unlocked, that means that site is completely unsafe. And if it is an unsafe site, that means if it is an e-commerce site, which is even worse as well, by the way. So that means that all the payments won't be secure. That's more accessible to people who are prone to hack as well. So that's something that you like, or more or less a website you don't want to visit, which is a website with no SSL. Now, we covered this in another video if you guys want to check that out as well in our YouTube channel. And I gave a rundown through the different types of SSL as well. Now, again, there are other key aspects into how to choose the right web hosting for your website. Think about the customer support as well. So make sure that you're finding a hosting provider that provides 24/7 support. Now, that's within multiple channels like live chat, email, phone. Make sure that you read the reviews as well, gauge different client experiences on that particular hosting. Gauge their responsiveness as well, have a look at how long they've been as a business themselves, check out their effectiveness in terms of how they deliver. Make sure that you're finding a hosting service as well that provides user-friendly control panels like cPanel or Plesk. Now that allows you to manage your website, domain, databases, and email accounts easily. That just completely simplifies tasks for beginners and advanced users alike. Think about the types of backup and restore options that they have. So regular backups, of course, are crucial to prevent data loss. So ensure that your host provides automated backup options and easy restoration methods as well. And again, going back into reviews and reputation, just have a look at the reviews and testimonials. Check out their reliability, support quality, and overall customer satisfaction. As well as that, think about the server location as well. So choose a server location that's closest to your target audience, and that can greatly improve website loading times for users in that region. And think about money back guarantee. So if it's not as going as great as you would have thought it would have been, many hosts, I would say, will offer a money back guarantee within a certain period, so like 14 days or 30 days. That'll just give you a chance to test the service risk-free and ensure it meets your needs. Now, depending on your website as well, check for the different add-ons and extras. Some hosts will provide additional services like domain registration, website builders, and marketing credits. So just evaluate whether these extras align with your website needs. And lastly, think about the terms of services and acceptable use policy. So read the hosting provider's terms of service and acceptable use policy carefully to understand any restrictions, resource limits, and potential penalties. But in summary, hopefully that gives you an idea on what types of hosting you should go for, what's right for your website. It just involves assessing your needs, considering factors like performance, reliability, security, and support. And you need to also compare the different hosting providers based on this criteria. So at the end of the day, just do your careful research, or be careful with your research, understand your specific requirements, and that'll help you find a hosting solution that ensures your website success. So guys, hopefully that video has helped. If it did, let us know in the comment section below. We'd like to know what you think. If you're maybe looking for services to do with digital marketing, web design, web development, or SEO, why not contact us at www.profiletree.com. Let us know about your project and we'll be sure to get back to you as soon as possible. But guys, that pretty much reaches the end of the video. As I said, hopefully you did enjoy. And I'll see you for the next one. Thank you very much for watching.